Yeah, welcome in. Welcome back to another episode of the Format Podcast live, Sunday morning edition. Yes. We got a pretty good show lined up for you today, and I'm pretty excited to deliver that to you. And we're gonna get to that shortly. As you can see by the rundown, we got some good topics. At least I think some good topics. Obviously, you all know by now I love college football. I'm a huge college football fan. It doesn't hurt that the Irish are playing for the national championship this year for the first time since 2012. So 12 years, and we'll get to that later. But definitely wanted to just talk about some different things going on in the world of college football. Obviously, first one being transfer portal and NIL and how they have seemingly just shaken up everything along with the 12-team playoff. So, that's going to be really good to discuss. Then we're going to discuss, is Notre Dame and by extension, head coach Marcus Freeman, the biggest story in college football this year? I would tend to think so, but I'm sure there would be some pushback on that. And I have an idea what the argument would be for a different story. Then we're going to talk about what you saw on the thumbnail, and that's who was more influential, Allen Iverson or Kobe Bryant. And that's really courtesy of a discussion that Bruce from the chat and I had maybe a couple of days ago. And it was a really good discussion and I enjoyed it. So I thought that it would make a really good topic and segment for this show. So thank you for that, Bruce. Appreciate you, man. And finally, of course, we're going to have to talk about the Baltimore Ravens sending home the Pittsburgh Steelers from the playoffs yet again. I tell you, it's even more gratifying to win your opening round playoff game when you do it at home versus your hated rival and you send them home knowing that it's going to be another long summer, right? Because just as much as the Ravens and the Ravens fans are happy that they sent Pittsburgh home, Pittsburgh is going to be really upset that they got sent home by the Ravens. That makes it like even worse, right? It could have been anybody else, but your hated division rival, it just makes it terrible. So all these are great topics we have to discuss. So we are going to do that in just a little bit. But before we get to it, you know what time it is. If you're here on YouTube and you haven't already, please make sure you go ahead, click that subscribe, that like, and that notification bell. If you want the audio-only version of the podcast, open up your audio podcast platform, hit the search bar, type in The Format Podcast. We should come right up. We're available wherever you get your audio podcasts. If you enjoy the content, please make sure you give it a like, a 5-star review, and leave a comment. All that stuff helps us rise in the algorithm, helps us find more sports fans, helps more sports fans find us, and tune in Sunday mornings at 10 o'clock for the Format Podcast Live. Make sure you mark it down, put it on your calendar, put it in your phones. And finally, if you're truly enjoying the content, make sure you join the channel. We're working to help this channel grow, and we're going to have some special stuff just for you. All right. And even before we get going with the quick hits, quick shout out to my guy, Laker Nation, first ever member of the channel. And It's Not That Serious, second member of the channel. Don't worry, I didn't forget you guys. That special members only content is coming. So thanks a lot for joining. I'm glad you guys are here and I appreciate your support. You guys have been, most of you guys who listen have been here with me from day one, man. So just keep spreading the channel, keep letting people know about it, keep tuning in, keep arguing in the chat and doing all the things that we do to make this a great experience and continuing to grow this Format Podcast family and community, man. I really appreciate y'all. I mean, y'all know that some of y'all are becoming friends to me even offline. We talk, we share stuff and it's good, man. And that's the beauty of sports. I'm going to digress real quick before I even get into the quick hits and the topics. That's the beauty of sports, because in a time when our country and I suppose our world is ever more and more divided, sports can bring us all together, right? We might have different religions, different races, different political ideologies, all that, right? But for a few hours, when you're watching the game, somebody could be totally different than you, completely on the opposite side of the aisle on everything. But if you guys are both Ravens fans, or you're both Steelers fans or Irish fans or whatever fans you are, you got Lakers fans, Celtics fans, you guys can dap each other up, slap five, whatever you want to call it. For those 3 hours, you could be the best friends in the world. You know what I'm saying? Repping for that team together, or just on the whole, you can bond over your love of sports, no matter who your team is. Your team could be arch enemies, but you guys can have that together. So that's the beauty of sports, man. If we allow it to, it can bring people together. And that's kind of, what I've been trying to and hoping to create, not just being on here, bloviating, as Stephen A. Smith loves to say, running off my mouth, but really trying to create a community and a Format Podcast family that we can be on here together, kicking it, enjoying sports talk, some spirited debates sometimes, and just, doing that, man, because it's all love. All right. So speaking of next up, let's go on to the main event, shall we? And that is where's Bruce? I haven't seen him in the chat. But anyway, this is a topic that was inspired by a discussion that he and I were having offline. And that is, who is more influential? And this is not just on the court, but influential overall, Kobe or Allen Iverson. And I thought this was so interesting. G, I'm going to let you start with this one, man. These are two of the most influential people in NBA history. Would you agree with that?
Yeah, two of, yep.
Yeah. So if you had to, and this is just between those two, who would you say, I guess, is the most influential? And it's not, good morning, Kareem, good morning, good to see you. I wouldn't say it doesn't have to necessarily be just relegated to between the lines, like just overall basketball, cultural, all of that. Who do you say would be who would you say would be the most influential, the more influential out of the two?
I thought coming in the league, that's tough, man, because AI was like his whole story. He was just so big in the media, sometimes from a negative perspective, right? Like a lot of times people didn't really talk about um, a lot of the accolades he had off the basketball court,
Mm-hmm.
and this dude was like feeding families. But because
Mm-hmm.
prior to him entering the league, he had like this long stint of just like I think the late John Thompson had like went to visit him in jail while he was recruiting
Yeah.
him.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, and so he came in the league, and I hate to say this word, but as the villain, right? The villain that the league needed. I would say that, right? I mean, unconscious score, could do everything, but he was almost always looked at in the media as somebody who defies the rules and don't follow, right? Not to mention how he just destroyed he's a different guard. He was a different guard. It was faster, quicker. Um, they called they was calling his crossover a travel in the beginning. He was getting called for traveling for a long time, and like now when
Well,
I look at
he
it,
did carry a lot, but go ahead.
yeah. But if you look at what's happening right now, bro, like
Mm-hmm.
was he the person that started it all? Like, is he the
Big part of
reason to
it.
blame for all this? I mean, they definitely changed the rules. They changed the
Mm-hmm.
rules for him, right? Like they was a little more lenient and because he was a bucket, destroying everything. And he was a two way player. Like he played basketball and football really really well.
Yeah, he was the number
Um,
one football recruit in the country.
yeah,
Coincidentally, he was supposed to go to Notre
yeah,
Dame to play quarterback.
yeah. He is still destroy guards today, like effortlessly. Like
Yeah,
I bet if he suit up today, he'd still take like at least 50% of the guards that's in this league right now. At least
he
50.
would be a problem. I
Yeah,
don't think a lot of them dudes could guard him today.
yeah.
I think
Nah,
you're right.
nah, nah, nah,
I think you give him a
nah.
month, two to get in shape. I think he could give a lot of people problems.
Kobe Bean Bryant. Oh man, bro, like I don't know. This is tough. This is really extremely tough, man. I
Right,
mean, this
right.
guy gave you the blueprint of how to be a better person, a better player, and a better father. In many cases, I mean,
Yeah,
minus
yeah, yeah.
the rape
Yes,
charge that
of
was
course.
thrown out, but
Hey,
um,
we don't say, we don't use
yeah,
that
yeah,
word.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
But yeah,
But
the
man,
assault.
may he rest in peace, man. Like he
Mm-hmm.
was probably one of the best. Me and my son was talking about this. He had cut out for Michael Jordan, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like for a
Mm-hmm.
while, he was like, "Yo, he looked like Mike." I mean,
Walk like
everything
him, talk
does.
like him.
Yeah, everything
Yeah.
was like you can tell this dude studied Mike his whole life. Like when he started playing basketball, he fed into the Kool Aid. I want to be like Mike, and he took it to a different
Mm-hmm.
level. But then he perfected his craft as well. So I
Mm-hmm.
mean, we got one player who practiced, almost all the time and religiously, and then you got another
Yeah.
player who did not practice at all, right? And so I don't know, man. That's tough. Influential. That's ugh. That's a tough one, man. I think if you're building a player, who would you want your player to resemble? And I think a
Mm-hmm.
lot of people will say Kobe, right?
Mm-hmm.
But at the same time, when you look at what AI has done for the game,
Mm-hmm.
sleeves, headbands, and branding
Mm-hmm.
himself, you would say AI. I thought he
So
did
you
a
say
real good
AI?
job.
Sorry. So you say
I
AI
mean,
is more influential?
I said I,
I
I
don't think
said
you can
if
go
you're
wrong
doing
either way here, but
no. I'm saying it depends on
mm-hmm.
what you're
Mm-hmm.
doing, like what you want to do. Like if you look at the '90s, the AI didn't need the NBA. The NBA needed AI, right? They needed somebody to transition from Mike. They needed somebody to
But you had
transition
Kobe.
from
They
Mike.
came in the same year, so it's like
Kobe didn't come out the bench. Kobe didn't come out frying like that.
I get it.
He
I get it.
didn't.
Yeah, you're right.
He
You're
didn't
right.
come out frying. He didn't come
Yeah,
out
it took
frying
a
people
couple
like that.
years. Yeah.
It took a while, and then when he
Mm-hmm.
did, when he did come into fruition, it was like, oh, okay, that's cold. But it still took him. You know what I'm saying? He had to build up to be in his prime. It
I
felt
think a
like
lot of people knew what Kobe could be and what he was going to be. He just had to get seen. But like me and what's his name, young disciple always get into it over that. But it's hard when you got an All NBA guy in front of you. You know what I'm saying? And a coach that don't want to give you that. But that's tough. But anyway,
it's
that's not the point.
it's crazy because now you got me started. It's crazy
Mhm.
because he still has Shaq too, right? Like
Yes,
AI
yeah.
didn't have a Shaquille O'Neal, so just
I don't think he
imagine
could
if
have played with
AI
him.
had. I don't know, bro.
Nah,
I
man.
don't know. I don't
AI
know.
got to have that rock, and he got to have those shots, man. It takes a special type of dude to play with another all time great dominant player. Because even
Bro,
when
you
AI
starting the
was
game.
MVP at his absolute peak, like who was the other offensive dude on his team, right?
Is that a him fault or is that the GM
I think
fault?
it is. I think it's both. I think it's both. I don't think he could play with another big time scorer.
That's crazy.
Stackhouse
Look,
was there. Stackhouse, he got him up out of there, right? Um, Jim Jackson was there.
where did
Not the same
Stackhouse
Jim
go after
Jackson as
that?
Dallas, but he got him
Where
out of
did
there.
Stack?
Detroit, and he led the damn league in scoring. Yeah. Freaking I'm not gonna say Derek Coleman because that wasn't the same Derek Coleman as New Jersey
No, it
Derek
wasn't.
Coleman, but the point I'm trying to make is like and this is not me taking shots at Allen Iverson at all because we know how
It
great
sound
the
like
dude
it.
was, but
It sound like it. It sound like
nah
it.
nah
It
nah
sound like
nah he's not a he Chuck Brewer, he went to Georgetown for 2 years. 2 years. He came out after his sophomore year. And Marbury was a freshman. He came out after his
that was
freshman year at
man.
Georgia Tech.
That
But
was that
um
was a good. I
that was
remember
a
that draft.
fantastic draft. Yeah.
That
Ray
draft.
Ray Allen, Kerry Kittles, Kobe, Allen Iverson, Steph Marbury. Like, that's a mean draft. Sharif Abdur Rahim. That's a mean
Yeah,
draft right there, bro.
yeah, he got a bad
Yeah.
rap. That's crazy.
Yeah. But no, I don't think that so me and Bruce were kind of on different sides of this
Wait, Joe Smith came
because
out too.
say again?
Rasheed Wallace, Joe Smith,
Was
they
it,
all came out.
Joe Smith was 95, I thought. I thought he was the
95?
year prior. I thought he was the year prior. Wait, Joe Smith went number one overall, right?
Yeah, he did.
Yeah, 95. Mm-hmm.
Mm.
Yeah. That was is that Joe Smith, Marcus Camby, Rashid, all them dudes was in the same draft, right? That's
Yeah,
another
you're
good
right.
draft. But
Yeah.
but but yeah, regardless though, oh yeah, Steve Nash was in 96 also. Yeah, that's a mean draft, boy. Ooh. but the point I'm trying to make is when it comes to Allen Iverson, right? Incredible player, very influential on and off the court. People talk about his cultural influence, the style. But here's the thing though, right? Why do people say that he influenced style off the court when all he did was bring his off the court style to the NBA? Like that was already there. He wasn't the one that were making people get braids or making people wear baggy jeans or whatever. That was already a thing. He just brought that with him because he didn't, conform to, the way the Michael Jordans and the Patrick Ewings and the Reggie Millers were dressing and looking, right? So I'm kind of curious as to why people say, oh, he made that style like influential or whatever. I'm like, not quite. Because all he did, no, Jason Kidd was 94, Steve. Jason Kidd was 94, if I'm not mistaken. 93 or 94. Because yeah, 93. He was 93. But anyway, yeah, but the point is people say that. So anyway, I'm gonna go actually on the other side of this, and I'm gonna say Kobe, right? Now, of course, we know Kobe took a whole lot from Michael Jordan, as we know. He took a whole lot from a lot of dudes. He took stuff from Michael Jordan, he took stuff from Dream, he talked to James Worthy, he took stuff from him, that was one thing we love, is that he was a scholar of the game, right? And so um they say because they heard it on mainstream media, and now it gets shoved. Yeah. I think so. I think so. And so here's the thing. Again, not saying that AI was not influential, because he was. Maybe not always in a good way, kind of the nonconformist thing. And then like the whole, I don't know why we almost take it as like the whole practice. Like, I don't know why a lot of people, not all, kind of like that. But I'm like, that's weird to me, because I'll say he was head and shoulders more naturally gifted, more naturally talented than Kobe. I don't think there's any question about that. But what we look at Kobe for was, as you mentioned, his relentless pursuit of being the greatest basketball player he could be, and his relentless pursuit of trying to be the greatest basketball player of all time. I don't know if Allen Iverson had that. I don't think he did. I think he was just so incredibly gifted. They just went out and did what he did, right? So Kobe, for instance, let me say this. A couple of years ago, I think I told this story. I'm not sure I told you this. A couple of years ago, I was doing long-term substitute teaching English, right? Eighth graders. And I see eighth graders crumple up a piece of paper, and they throw it in the in the trash can, right? And what are they yelling? Kobe, right? Like, you still see that to this day. And it's not just, I think, because he died, God bless the dead. It was even, we talked about that, Steve. He was supposed to go to Notre Dame and play quarterback before he got in trouble. And people forgot Randy Moss was supposed to go there too and be the wide receiver before he got in trouble, ended up in Marshall. Can you imagine that? Allen Iverson and freaking Randy Moss at Notre Dame? Anyway, back to Kobe. So, Kobe, super influential in the way he played the game. Just think about how many players today, call Kobe the GOAT. How many younger players say that Kobe's the greatest of all time? Transformer. He's not a basketball player, obviously, but he's on the show here with us, and he says, Kobe's the GOAT for him. And so I think there's the on the court piece. And to see, here's where I really get to the brass tacks of why I think Kobe is more influential. I think that when it comes to Kobe, people of all walks of life, all businesses, all functions study this Mamba mentality. They study his work ethic, and how he went about it, right? It has influenced everybody across multiple disciplines, whether it's academia, whether it's athletics, whether it's business, in terms of trying to figure out this Mamba mentality. This thing has been studied in terms of relentless pursuit of excellence in your particular field, whatever that field may be. I don't think Allen Iverson has that, right? Also, I think the international influence is crazy, because I don't know if it was LeBron or somebody else went to China and they said, yo, I thought I was big until I saw how they love Kobe over there, right? And so I think that international influence, I just think it's way greater, right? Also, you look at it, Kobe, his ability, obviously growing up in Italy, he speaks Italian, he speaks Spanish. I think he learned Serbian to communicate with some of his teammates. All that spreads influence, right? It changes the way people sees you and allows you to connect with different people all over the place, right? Just being, multilingual like that. That's a thing. That's a real thing. And all of that, I'm not denigrating Allen Iverson at all, but I'm like, I think Kobe's influence is greater. Let's see.
So
Kareem says, Bruce, he brought it to the league. You said to yourself, MJ, Magic, and Bird all followed the flow. AI made it cool to rock the cornrows and tats, my brother. So, yeah, he brought it to the league, but that's what I'm saying. I, he brought something that was already being done. To me, he didn't bring something new. That's kind of what I was saying. Go ahead, G. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to cut you, bro.
no. I think when you say influence, there's no. I mean, it could be negative influence or positive influence, right?
Mm-hmm.
So we leaning on the side of positivity, whereas I think when you think AI, you think of a person who was an outlaw. I told you that he was made the
Mm-hmm.
villain in the NBA,
He
right?
shouldn't have been, but I hear you.
He was made the villain because of the tats and the cornrows and the sleeves and the baggy shorts and just the on off the court and like how he viewed practice and all those things that was amplified on mainstream media is why I think it also plays a role in this influence. But yeah, probably Kobe when you look at like just international influence. Played
Mm-hmm.
overseas. His dad
Mm-hmm.
played overseas.
Mm-hmm.
Um, yeah, so don't know. I don't think you can be wrong either way.
I don't think so either. I don't think
Yeah,
so either. I'm just how I see it. I lean towards Kobe on it, but you can't be wrong either way because to your
that
point, Allen
that
Iverson, and I'm
crossover though. You
yeah,
remember
oh
his
yeah,
first year
everybody
in the
started
game?
with
Hold
that.
on, this. And
Yeah,
I
all
hate to compare his first years, but his first year in the game, he crossed Mike
right.
up so bad. He was a
Mhm,
screensaver
mhm,
when we had like Windows
mhm,
98. I think it was like the first screensaver, bro. It was like AI hooking, giving them the business, and
mhm,
and but when we look at like Cole, out
mhm,
his first outing was him shooting 4 air balls.
mhm.
You know what I'm saying? But
Yeah.
the story behind it, right, was, oh yeah, that was enough to spark fire to say, hey,
Mhm.
look, I even gotta get myself together, or I'll never play in this league. And
Right.
so that I think that was the decide moment for him to
Mhm,
be the great
mhm,
um, basketball player that
mhm,
he become. And rest in peace. Because when Kobe passed,
mhm,
man, a lot of people shed tears, man, and just watch the sport and
mhm.
not thinking that a daughter lost her father. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah.
That's yeah, that's tough.
Mhm.
Yeah,
So quick story as you brought up Kobe. Well, first let me address that Iverson crossover thing, right? It's so interesting to me that people always talk about, yeah, he crossed up Mike, he crossed up Mike. All right, so cool. Yes, he crossed up Mike. Incredible. But now let's now logically assess this, G. You hooped at a higher level than I could. Cool. So let's logically assess this now. Allen Iverson, like 5'10, 5'11, right? Michael Jordan is 6'6", right? Full 6'6". Cool. Michael Jordan at that time is weighing about 200, 205. Allen Iverson is weighing 165, right? So we know there's this thing called physics, right? And in every sport, we keep hearing low man wins, right? Cool. So all of this, not my opinion, all this is fact. So now Allen Iverson gets you going on the hesitation crossover, which he carried on, but whatever, we'll let that go. But regardless, he gets you going on a hesitation crossover. Why do you think that in most, well, in the past, not so much now, but in most situations, guys guard their position, right? Because the physics don't allow someone who's considerably larger and heavier to change direction without being affected by it against a much smaller player, right? So if Allen Iverson gets you going one way, this is physics. You're making that face, but this is physics. And it was a carry, yes. But this is physics. Allen Iverson gets you going one way, then he brings you back the other way. Your size and your weight make it much more difficult for you to get back to that opposite side as quickly, right? It just is. So it's very interesting. Yes, he caught him, but there's physics at play here. So let's not act like now if what's a better analogy? Jim Jackson at 6'6" caught Mike like that. Okay, got you. I'm looking at that in a whole
sir,
different light. But you
sir,
5'11" and you hit up somebody 6'6" that
sir,
weighs 40 pounds more than you, that's a different thing entirely.
sir, sir. If Mike would have won that duel, we wouldn't be having this conversation right now. That was a duel. That was that was a gunfight. That's what that was.
It
Mike was
wasn't a
on defense.
gunfight. The Sixers got blown by like 20 that game, but go
That's
ahead.
not what I'm saying. I'm talking about
Oh, okay.
that particular moment in the
Mhm,
game
mhm, mhm,
was a
mhm,
gunfight, right? All it was Michael Jordan, the GOAT.
mhm,
Most people GOAT that I know,
mhm,
versus a new up and coming, like the new age of guard.
mhm.
Both two guards, both two still two guards, right? Like we never consider AI a point guard. Both still two guards, right? And they going
Mhm.
at it, and it was just what it was. It was beautiful, man. Don't taint it. Talking about he crossed, he carried, and you know what I
He
mean.
did.
Like nah, no, they didn't call it. They didn't
Ask
call
Scottie
it.
Pippen if he did.
They didn't call it. He
Mhm.
Scotty would have got the same business too, bro. Like
No. But I'm saying he admitted it was a carry. But go ahead. It was. Go look at the
who
play, man. I watched
I
it a million
watched him
times.
play. It was my screensaver for about 10 years.
So when he turned his hand completely over with the ball in his hand,
It was
that's not a
beautiful
carry.
music, man. It was beautiful music.
Okay,
It
man, you
was
got
beautiful music. Because if he would have blocked the shot, nobody would have said anything.
it.
That's
hmm
terrible, bro. That's horrible. You gonna bring physics in this? You
Physics is a
sound
part of
yeah.
sport.
You sound like somebody I know. But I'm gonna let it
It's
go.
a
We're
part of
gonna allow it.
sports.
But
It's what it
you
is.
asked me a question, and I thought that was like, even though they did lose, right? But
Mm-hmm.
that was,
By a lot.
yeah. If he would have missed the shot and shot 4 air balls, because right now it's about AI and
Okay.
Kobe.
Right.
I thought that was something that propelled it. Made him a story, right? He became a story now. Even
Mm-hmm.
though he was already cooking, but that made him like, oh, all right, he did that shit to Michael Jordan. Excuse me. He did
Mhm.
it. He did that to Michael Jordan.
Yeah,
He could
yeah,
do
yeah,
that to
no doubt,
anybody.
no
Yeah.
doubt, no
So
doubt.
so
And he did it to a lot of people.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah, yeah. No doubt, no,
What's
no
it?
doubt.
Tyron? Was it Tyron Lue? Tyron Lue?
Tyronn Lue. Yeah, yeah.
Oh,
The
I
step
thought
over.
he
It
got it
was
the
in the
worst.
clip that we
Yeah,
played, yo. It was in the B-roll.
yeah, yeah.
Hmm.
He got it the worst, bro.
Yeah, but what's funny, real quick. This is how you know that his crossover was a carry, and they were just letting him get away with it. Is because he said he did something that pissed the league off, and like a year or two later, they kept calling him for it over and over, and he was like, "Come on, man, y'all been letting me do this." They
He was a
exactly,
villain.
exactly right, Kareem. Yeah, it was a carry, bro. But anyway, not the point. But no, this was this was interesting. Like I said, it was the topic was sparked in my mind when Bruce and I had this discussion, because he's adamant that AI is more influential than Kobe, and he might be right. He might be right. I like I said, personally lean towards Kobe based on all the different things that I mentioned, and just the fact that, like I said, that whole Mamba mentality is a thing that's like studied academically. You know what I'm saying? In terms of people being able to utilize that across whatever it is they do in life to reach maximum potential. So I think that right there,
Yeah,
to me, is kind of the separator.
yeah. If you haven't had time to watch his documentary, man, he has a really, really good documentary. Kobe does.
Iverson or
Kobe. Kobe.
okay, okay,
Yeah, you know what I'm
gotcha. Shout
saying?
out Laker
Yeah,
Nation. Yes.
I'm sure you watched it before. It was pretty good.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. Shout out
Love
Laker
watching.
Nation. Good to see you. Good to see you, bro. You missed the whole discussion we had on it, man. Damn, you just got in. But you catch it on the rewind. But yeah, so yeah, definitely good topic, good topic. Let's open up the phone lines, man. Let's do this. 904-219-8264. Definitely would love to hear any calls with you guys' opinions on who was more influential and why. And realistically, I think G and I agree there's no wrong answer on this, because they were both hugely influential on and off the basketball court. So, yep, 904-219-8264. Numbers on the screen and it's scrolling on the bottom. Give us a call, give us your thoughts. And then we will get to the last topic, and we'll torture Steve a little bit. I wish Nino was here. I guess he's ducking right now. Oh, man. Here we go. Yes, sir. Bruce, what up, my G? What's going on, man?
Hey, man, here you in here moving the goalposts because AI crossed Mike over.
Okay, go ahead.
I hear you on here moving the goalposts because AI crossed Mike over. You always move the goalposts. Mr. Goalpost Bruce.
Okay, go ahead.
AI, to me, AI was more influential than Michael Jordan, man. I mean, than Kobe. I'm sorry.
Right.
Kobe, from the time, even though Kobe came in the league on the bench, understand what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
From the AI was influential since Georgetown, before Kobe was even heard of.
Mm-hmm.
In the streets, in the hood. I mean, I know you thought that shit don't matter to you. Stuff like that don't matter to you.
No. Tell the people.
Opinion.
Give them your thoughts. I'm not gonna cut you off. This is you, man. Go ahead.
Yes, AI was more influential than Kobe.
Right.
From his cultural impact to his style. I hear you say something about, he brought the style to the NBA. The style was already in. Yeah, but not as big as when he came. I mean, he was hip hop. Kobe wasn't hip hop like AI. Remember the Jadakiss commercials and come on, man, stop it, man. Influential. The braids, the zigzag braids. Yes, we was wearing braids before AI came in, but not like that.
Okay.
He turned. I was on ground zero when he turned the world up.
Okay.
But like you say, Kobe having more of a a more international impact because he spoke 5 different languages and all this stuff. And come on, man. You talk about the kids shooting the basketball with the paper basketball, talk about Kobe. They weren't yelling Kobe before his untimely passing. Everybody was hurt because everybody going to pass away, but everybody was mainly hurt because I don't want to get to his death because he died abruptly. And the like, come on, that's come down like that. Ain't like he was sick for 2 years and passed. That happened so suddenly in the middle of the day. So of course, it making it seem like Kobe was that guy, like everybody looked up to. That's not true, bro. It was a time in the period from, let's say, maybe 97 to AI had a 10-year run far as being the most influential. I mean, during his time. I don't even think Kobe was the most influential during his time. And before his passing, he is not. He was not, man. AI, man, listen. Started playing basketball when I was a kid, man. Listen, AI falls the braids, the hip hop image. We know the NBA did him dirty, but in the long run, he proved he was right. Understand what I'm saying?
The NBA did him. I'm sorry. Can I ask you a question? The NBA did him dirty. How?
Because they tried to change the dress code and stuff. Because how he was coming, he was the culprit for that. He started that trend in the NBA with the tattoos and the braids and the jerseys and the big jeans. He did that. Mm-hmm. He the reason why David Stern did that. You know that.
No, but I'm saying you said the NBA did him dirty, so I'm just trying to figure out how that is. They did him dirty by making him a multimillionaire? Is that how they did him dirty?
They like the way he dressed. That's why they changed the dress code. He influenced that.
Mm-hmm.
You know that.
Mm-hmm.
Jordan.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
Hold up. After Jordan, he was the icon, the face of the league, hands down. Whether shoes, cultural impact, his style of play. You could go to few gyms and court and not seeing one person emulating variants of his crossover. Mm-hmm. The man was bigger than his size implied. He was bigger. He was bigger than basketball.
Mm-hmm. So
come on now. Kobe wasn't that bumped up like that before he passed. Oh, yes, people are
really
by Kobe. No, he was not.
Okay.
Mama mentality, yeah. But he wasn't as big as he got bigger after he died.
I don't really agree with that. But okay.
He got bigger after he passed away. That's even with rappers. That's just, you get bigger but after you pass away. But Kobe, before he passed away, he wasn't as big as he was. He was huge.
Really?
He didn't have the same culture. Yes, he didn't have the same cultural impact as AI in the urban community. He did not.
There you go. Let me stop you. There you go. I've been waiting for you to get to it. Very good. He did not have as big an influence in the urban community. Perhaps that's true.
We count, don't we?
Hold on. I agree. I'm not saying I don't agree. Now, that said, that doesn't mean Kobe did not have influence in the urban community, but Kobe then he had also had influence in the urban community, not as much as Iverson. We can agree on that. But then he also had more influence in the suburban community and the international community, the academic community, right? Across multiple disciplines in life, right? To the point that, as I said earlier, the Mamba mentality is something that's actually studied in terms of, and we talked about this in terms of, that relentless pursuit of greatness in whatever your particular discipline is. We can't say that about Allen Iverson. I understand that Allen Iverson touches you personally, right? I get it. As he touches many of us personally. I get it. But we also have to be objective here and to say that he's more influential because he has more influence in the urban community. That's patently false. I don't really think that that's necessarily all right. Let's do this, right? Let's do this. So if you look at it, if you say, okay, Allen Iverson is more influential in the urban community, how does that out influence the entire globe? You know what I'm saying? Like, how does that do that?
But who said AI didn't have influence on the globe either, though? Why could you say that, Bruce?
I'm not. Okay, let me ask you this.
Probably not as much, but he don't say that.
Exactly.
Internationally, that's so that equals it all out. Because Kobe didn't have the same impact on the urban community as AI had. Who say AI didn't have influence internationally?
Who says that? If
you can find the fact, go ahead. I'm sorry, real quick. If you can find the fact that AI didn't have no influential globally, if any way we can find out if that's true or not, so we just did the argument.
Well, I definitely didn't say he had none. Go ahead.
I think his God-given talent, because he didn't really. It's hard to say he did have to practice to get where he was at, because that's BS, right? Like you're not just born in this game with the ability to shoot the ball and go to the rack and cross people and do all those things without having to put in some level of practice, right? And so I think when we talk about influence, either negative or positive, he was made the villain. So normally when that happens, your influence on the game is going to come off as being negative. But I think two really, really great players, Hall of Famers, um, you can't go wrong either way. Like I said, you can't go wrong either way. When you look at AI from like a hip hop, and how he was able to bring the culture to the game of sport, to the NBA, because a lot of the superstars, give it, be it Michael Jordan, Magic Johnson, I mean, they all come from urban communities, and so when you look at it from that perspective, it's like, all right, well, who cares what international thinks when what international folks believe when the culture is, what I'm saying, internal to the hood. Like these superstars are
Right.
relatively from the hood, right? And so what
That's not
happens
the
is
question.
that I want to be like Mike. Um, that's universal, right? There is no AI slogans. There is no Kobe, right? There is no slogans that goes along with that play. Um, but
It's
when you
not a
look at
slogan,
like
but
this,
the Mamba mentality is a real thing, right?
yeah, but you talking
No,
That's not
about
a
when
slogan,
you
but that's
hold
a
on.
thing.
it's a slogan, man.
I
It's a
don't know if it's
slogan.
a thing. Maybe a thing for Tatum, right? Maybe a thing, but I mean Elijah Wan was giving camps. You know what I mean? He was giving camps and showing plays. I don't want to get off target. I'll say this: you can't go wrong either way. But if you look at like the game of basketball, the crossover, like remember Tim Hardaway crossover, right? That was
Mhm.
another, that was another killer. I don't think Kobe
Without
had that.
carrying. Go ahead, though.
Yeah, I don't think Kobe had that. Right? He didn't have that type of that style of play. Like you would have to mimic Michael Jordan first to get to Kobe, right? Like there is no, and you can look at it, bro. Like I mean, that turnaround step back, yes, but I'm talking about crossover dribble. Like so, from a guard perspective, I think, yeah, from a guard perspective, um, AI was more influential to guards coming into the league or trying to play the game of basketball.
Small
Let's keep it
guards, maybe.
basketball.
Small guards.
Guards, I mean, you see now Wemby doing the sham guard, so we can't really say that he's not a guard at all. We saw a 7'3"
That's
doing the sham guard. That's another thing. So when we start talking about it, and we breaking basketball down, like you got to look at it for what it's worth. Like we can't pick apart Kobe game and say, well, he influenced maybe that step back, turn around, fade. I mean, pump fake, step in, step out. Yeah, and from that perspective, yeah, he had a move. But from a guard perspective, because they both guards, I don't
so
see how he changed the game or he influenced any guards to do anything like
okay.
that.
So let me say this real quick, and then I got an answer for Bruce on the influential um, international. But real quick, to your point, G, I think the reason why is right. Um, Kobe had a way more diverse offensive toolkit, so it wasn't necessarily like one go-to move that you can identify with him because he could do so many different things, like the way he played the post, all the different step throughs, up fakes, fadeaways, all those, all the different things that he did. So he wasn't necessarily one move identifiable, right? So it's almost like the dream shake, right? You know what I'm
No,
saying?
it's because we've seen all of it before, Bruce. We
But
saw it.
that's
We saw it with Mike.
No, but Mike wasn't doing it like he took it. Kobe took it to a different place. I'm not saying better. He took it to a different place, right? Yes, Mike had that elite fadeaway, but Mike wasn't doing it with all those step throughs, up and unders, pump fakes, all that. It wasn't. Kobe took his artistry to a different place. Mike was his template, but then he diverted from it over time. But real quick, Bruce, before I let you go, man, I just looked this up, right? And this is Allen Iverson was a cultural icon who revolutionized basketball with his unique style of play and fashion. His influence extended beyond the court, impacting popular culture and inspiring athletes worldwide with his authenticity and resilience. Iverson's blend of hip hop culture and basketball fashion set a new trend in the NBA, making him a global icon. Cool.
Thank you.
Now,
Thank you.
okay, you're welcome.
Thank
You hold on. Kobe Bryant, on the other hand, had a more widespread international influence. Known for his Mamba mentality, Kobe inspired athletes and fans around the world with his relentless work ethic and pursuit of excellence. I remember saying something like that. His global reach was further amplified by his endorsement deals, philanthropic efforts, and his ability to connect with fans in various languages. I thought I said something like that too. Kobe's impact on international basketball, especially in Asia and Europe, helped popularize the NBA globally. In summary, while Iverson's influence was more culturally focused, Kobe's impact was broader and more globally recognized.
Okay.
Wait, hold on. Before you, okay. You're not going to thank me for that? You thank me after the Iverson part. You're not going to thank me?
No,
okay, go ahead, brother.
Try to make it seem, because
I'm just saying.
He was popular in China. Don't take it away because AI was more popular in the urban communities. Come on now.
Nobody said. I did not deny Allen Iverson's popularity in the urban community. I'm just curious to know why you think that weighs more, the urban community in America, than the entire freaking world. Why does that weigh more?
Let me ask you this. Read what they said about Iverson one more time.
Allen Iverson was a cultural icon who revolutionized basketball with his unique style of play and fashion. His influence extended beyond the court, impacting popular culture and inspiring athletes worldwide with his authenticity and resilience. Iverson's blend of hip-hop culture and basketball fashion set a new trend in the NBA, making him a global icon.
So basically, he influenced people worldwide just as well as Kobe.
No, that's not what it says. It says Kobe Bryant, on the other hand, had a more widespread international influence. In summary, while Allen Iverson's influence was more culturally focused, Kobe's impact was broader and more globally recognized. Just saying.
Is that Google?
No, that's AI. That's AI. I looked it up.
That's AI. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. AI. Okay. Oh, okay. AI. You going up with AI?
Well, I like AI because you can ask the direct questions more so than.
But also, so what's the difference between what Kobe influence was and AI influence was if they said AI influence worldwide? And that's the same thing as being influenced globally.
It just
did they say AI was worldwide too, right?
Yes, but wait. Hold on. So your thing is you want me to allow you to give you credit for the fact that Allen Iverson was more influential in the hood, right? But you won't give
in the city.
I'm sorry, in the urban community, correct? Right. But you won't give credit that Kobe Bryant was more influential globally. So let me ask you this. Let's take Allen Iverson and Kobe out of this, and then we'll take it off the air and move on to the next topic, because I know we want to get to the Ravens. Why is it that the influence in the urban community to you means more than global influence? I'm trying to figure that out.
That's ground zero for me. I don't know.
Say that then. Say that.
In China.
Say that.
And I don't care about no China.
Then say that. Don't argue that. Then say that. That's more important to me. Don't argue that Allen Iverson had a greater global influence. You can't do that. Just say that.
But still, if you going off what AI say, but at the same time, AI also say AI was worldwide.
I didn't argue that.
Being worldwide and global.
No. You're missing. Worldwide and global is the same thing. But what I'm saying,
I get it.
Yeah.
I get it. Yeah, I get what you said. You know what, Bruce?
What's up,
I'm glad y'all was able to come to some form of goodness gracious, bro.
This is what me and Bruce do all day, every day. You don't even know, G.
I love it, yo. I love it, dog.
We can agree to disagree.
Yes,
Let me say this one thing before I go. The Mamba mentality is a slogan. That's all it is. That you focus, hyper focus, and locked in on your goals. And you got a superior work ethic. That's all that means. But let me say this before I get off. I'm ready to get off.
Yes, sir.
AI will always be a legend. We know the NBA did him dirty, but in the long run, he proved he was right. They have definitely had to start adopting players right in their decisions. He proved it. All they care about is the image and not the players. And that's all I got to say.
Fair enough. I'm gonna send you some stuff about that Mamba mentality later. All right, brother. Let's get to the main one. The last one.
Yeah. Because I need Denver to put belt the ass to Buffalo.
I don't see that.
At 1 o'clock. So let's hurry up and get this over with, because I'm locked in for the playoffs. I got my food. I got my goodies. I'm ready to go. All right.
No doubt, brother. Thank you for the call, man. All right, guys. Great call from Bruce as always. We get heated, but man, it's all love. We'd love to have these discussions, man. Me and Bruce argue this stuff a lot. Bruce and I should say. All right. Next topic. And I'm gonna let G run with this one, because we got one more call. We got one more call on this AI and Kobe. Let's take this real quick. Laker Nation, what's good, brother? You know how to take your call, man.
Yeah, of course. I ain't gonna let you move on to your. I see what you tried to do. I have to put that on pause real quick for you. You got too much celebrating going on right now with Notre Dame and Baltimore, man. I have to put a pause to it for a second.
Got you. What you got, brother?
Yeah, I missed like the whole topic, but I think since I'm a diehard Laker guy, I'm gonna give my two cents.
Cool.
Because I was a fan of both. You know what I'm saying? Like, without speaking from emotion, they both was very culturally impacted the game in different areas, and you can see it today. Like, before AI, there was, we all know about the dress code before AI. We all know how the contracts were before AI. I think AI got a guaranteed contract before he even started dribbling. That started the beef between him and Charles Barkley, if you remember that.
Right.
Because they were like, why are you paying this dude $40 million? He ain't even dribble basketball in this league yet. And then that started they risk. So AI changed the game with the money, the hip hop influence, wearing jerseys to the game, coming into the press conferences, wearing the sweatsuits and all that. And he was more like a rebel. So it was kind of like rebellion. So he kind of like changed it that way. So you can give him that. Saying Kobe wasn't influential because he's not here no more was kind of being not being 100% truthful.
Yeah, I agree. I didn't like that one. I've heard people say that. I think it's to take a shot at Kobe for. I'll be honest. I've only heard LeBron fans say that, but go ahead.
No, I'm not even. Why you had to bring that man's name up?
My bad. I'm just saying those are the only people that I've heard say that, though. You know what I'm saying?
No, it's not just them. His fans. It's people that don't like Kobe say that.
Interesting.
When he retired, as you can see, he was going around speaking on the game and how it's going in the wrong direction. He was while he was playing, he was working with the Kyrie Irvings, the DeMar DeRozans, and things of that nature before he even retired. So his impact on the game was more on the game itself.
Agreed.
With the future generation coming in. Then after he retired, that's when he started speaking. Then that's when the Mamba mentality launched. That's when he launched his own brand, kind of took off, and then he was going in the direction of making an impact on women's basketball.
That's right.
Yep. Because he had the Mambas and Gigi was coming up. So his impact was going towards women's basketball as well.
No question.
So
that's a great point.
I give the edge to Kobe based on that aspect because the direction that he was going far beyond the NBA. But both of them, their impact is still alive today. Before you start throwing pies and high fiving Z over there, I want to give a non-biased take on the two before we start talking about the Ravens demolishing the Steelers.
No doubt. I appreciate your feedback, Laker Nation, as always, man.
No problem, man.
All right, brother. Thank you for the call, man.
That was a good showing by Pittsburgh. They made me proud.
We can get to that in a minute.
They made me. Them Steelers made me proud yesterday. I know. I got tired of people. I know a lot of people that are Pittsburgh fans. Man, I said, man, y'all. I would say, man, there's teams that are good, and there's teams that hit a streak.
Mm-hmm.
I said Pittsburgh is not good. They just hit a streak. They're gonna get exposed in the playoffs.
You were right.
I said Russ is Russ. Y'all gonna find out in the playoffs.
No,
sure enough, they did.
He played as well as he could last night, but we'll get to that. Real quick though, if you remember, well, we'll talk about that in a second. Got anything else on the topic, Tony Tone?
No, that's it.
All right, my brother. Thank you for calling.
And,
I
I just want to give a shout out to Steve. Before I go, Sleepless Steve. I saw I didn't see it live, but I saw the Notre Dame video.
Okay.
I need to have Steve on there more often, man.
Yeah, he was dropping science, definitely.
He was dropping some knowledge,
mm-hmm.
And he could get his own show as well.
Yeah, he could. Yeah,
my man sits back. So
yeah, absolutely.
Shout out to Steve.
Yeah, most def. I definitely enjoyed having him on. It was good. We'll probably do it again.
Oh, for sure. Y'all need to do more shows often.
No doubt, man. Appreciate that, Laker Nation.
No problem.
All right,
I ain't gonna hold the show no more.
All right.
Let's go. And yes, I am a 49er fan, die hard, all day, all night. I don't care. I'm a die hard. Somebody said in the chat.
Yeah, I saw it. All right, brother. Let me go ahead and I think Sneed was trying to call in, so we're gonna take that one, and then after that, we're gonna get to the Ravens topic. All right, brother. Sneed, go ahead. Give us a call back. Sneed only. Sneed, give us a call. There we go. Sneed, what's good, brother?
What's going on, man? I had to call in on this, bro. Come on.
Yeah. Let's hear it.
This is crazy talk. Kobe, what's up, bro? Kobe Bean Bryant.
Mm-hmm.
This dude got championships.
Mm-hmm.
This dude has iconic moments within the sport.
Mm-hmm.
This dude was going to have a life after basketball that was centered around basketball.
Mm-hmm.
This dude has the mentality. He's got people adopting it as a way of becoming better players.
Mm-hmm.
And it was all about hard work and positivity and all these really important things. This dude had a renaissance in his career in which he won multiple championships after he was poo-pooed for the first part of his career with Shaq. He was the best player in the league, hands down, for several years. And we're going to talk about reach. We're going to talk about China. We're going to talk about international, how he represented the league for so long.
Mm-hmm.
The thing about AI is, while AI was influential for his time, he was not going to be influential perennially. Kobe represents an eternal concept within the game.
That's
like, he's gone, bro. God bless the dead. He's gone. And we're talking about him today like he's still here. It's incredible to see his reach, and people understand what he meant for the game and what he did as a person. His story is one of redemption. If you and the thing about like AI was hard to market. He was hard to brand. So, it was difficult to make him the face of the league.
Yes, let me push back on you a little bit, though. It was difficult to make him the face of the league. That I agree with. But I can't go as far as to agree with you on he was hard to market, he was hard to brand, because to the point that you made in the chat, when he was with Reebok, he was killing with Reebok. And that was one of the, that was arguably their biggest thing at the time, right? Because I think at the time they still had Shaq, they had Sean Kemp with the Kamikazes. They had some stuff, but Allen Iverson was killing. Because I remember back then, I used to work in sneaker stores, right? And he was killing. Trust me, his shorts, all that. Nah, he was not hard to market, but I agree when you say he was hard to make the face of the NBA. That wasn't going to happen because he wasn't going to play the part of the game that you needed to play in order to be that.
He was rough around the edges.
Yeah.
He wasn't refined. He wasn't a lot of things that Kobe became.
Right.
Right. And
but it wasn't even that.
Understood.
I'm sorry. It wasn't even that he wasn't refined. It was that he seemed to have an unwillingness to become refined, refined.
Exactly.
So.
Yeah, I agree. Now, when it comes to the game, like his play on the court, I mean, he was just so unique. He was small. And he was the most impactful player on the floor anytime he was on the floor.
Yes.
It didn't matter who was on the other side, who was on the other team.
Mm-hmm.
He was going to be the guy for that game. He was going to be the leading shot taker, the leading scorer. He was going to impact the end of the game. Anytime he was on the floor, he was going to be commanding the game. And his style, his movements, his crossover, everything was really iconic. But dog, like, can we talk about like the segment of his career where he played for the Pistons and where he played for the Nuggets?
Mm-hmm.
Where was his influence during half of his career? His influence was a very, very tight window. It was when he was in Philly, and
he was like 96 to 03. Yeah.
Yeah. So Kobe stretch was iconic throughout his entire career.
Yeah, pretty much. Once he hit the floor, that was it. Let me to your point, Steve.
And also, what about the team? Does playing for the Lakers give Kobe an advantage?
That's a great point. Yeah.
The 76ers, bro, I know Dr. J and the Sixers, they have a pedigree of greatness too. But it's the Lakers. What do they got, 20 rings?
No. 17.
17. The greatest players to ever play the game. You go through the list. There's a lot of Lakers, bro.
A lot of Lakers. I hate to admit it, but a whole lot of Lakers, man.
And they're the only team that we hold to a standard and we poo-poo on them when they don't meet that standard every single year.
Isn't that
Everybody
crazy?
Else can have that.
Even more so than the Celtics. That's crazy,
and
but
the
you're right.
Celtics are kind of up there too. It's true. Like you can kind of put the Celtics there too. But
the Lakers even more so. I got to be honest. The Lakers even more so. So yeah. I admitted it. Transform it. Damn, I did.
So I'm looking at all of the factors.
Mm-hmm.
Addressable markets, like China's 1.7 billion people. You know, and that was Kobe country. You know, and that's just China. You know what I'm saying? And in the U.S., bro, Kobe, I don't know, I forget who it was. One of the callers, man. I don't remember who it was. Might have been the first call on this. Kobe did songs, bro. Talk about hip hop.
That's right. Yeah.
Songs.
Yeah. He did. He was a rapper too. Yup.
I'll never forget it, bro. I'm watching this Brian McKnight video and he's playing in the park, and I got Kobe out there rapping in a suit, bro.
Yeah.
I'm just saying.
You know what, G? Now I remember on that documentary, he was talking about when he was in high school and he used to rap, and his crew was called the Cheesaw Gang from the Kid with the Golden Arm movie. Yeah, I remember. Yeah,
let me ask you this: what's more urban than a kid coming out of high school to play in the NBA?
What?
Explain that a little bit. Expound on that for me.
I remember KG. I remember
Chicago.
Some of these, like LeBron, like these guys came out. It was like, yo, they're ready. These are NBA players. Right. You know, these are kids that came up with little to nothing. The work, the sticks stacked against them and all this. I mean, Kobe wasn't that. I mean, his dad served in the army. I think he was a player at one point, played in the league, and all these. He has a different kind of.
Yeah, he wasn't in the military. He played in the league, then he went overseas to play, then he came back and played a little bit in the league. But yeah.
Okay, that's so I'm looking at like his story. It's not like urban in that sense. It's not the kid with the same story like LeBron or whatever, but like coming from the high school. I mean, AI played at Georgetown for 1 year or 2 years?
2 years.
2 years at Georgetown.
Yeah.
And you know what? It actually worked out for him because he started creating his brand at Georgetown, right? Remember the tournament and his impact in college. So I think some of that actually helped. I think he won a Big East championship there too. Right, back in the day, that stuff was important. What you did in college actually mattered to your legacy.
Yes.
Right. So I don't know. I just think from reach, because I look at things globally. I'm not going to look at things from just the hood or just urban. I'm looking at reach. Bro, I don't care. There are white kids saying Kobe, throwing paper in the trash cans. I'm a school teacher.
Right.
I know it. They never say AI.
Right. Facts.
Remember,
I witnessed that myself.
Actually, they might not even know who AI is. Honestly, I'll ask.
That would be crazy.
I'm a school teacher. I got all little kids. They're teenage age.
Mm-hmm.
They love hoops. I don't think they know AI like they know Kobe.
Yeah,
That Dave Chappelle skit is probably part of it too.
that might have something to do with it.
And you know what else they also know? It's the argument between LeBron and Kobe. It's not really an argument between LeBron and AI. So those arguments matter too. Anyway, thanks, guys. Appreciate it.
All right, brother. I appreciate it. Go ahead, G.
I think influence is different than legacy, right? Influence.
True.
Influence is, for a long time, Kobe Bryant was considered squeaky clean, right? And I think AI talked about this. Like, he was considered squeaky clean until that one time, I think it was Colorado, that he got hemmed up at, and he had to fight his way out, right? 40 games, 40, what was it, 40 points in 9 games.
In the playoffs, he was going crazy. Yeah.
Yeah,
Crazy.
so I guess, I don't know if that was his way of saying I'm innocent or what, but he went on a tear. And then I think ever since then, he's been on a constant, I guess, tear to just kind of like get his image back, right? I think that was it. Rape is a terrible and egregious thing to be accused of,
Agreed.
and if you are guilty, he was innocent, if I'm not mistaken, right? He settled, or he was
settled. It was settled, but there's a whole
okay.
lot of we need a Patreon to discuss some of these topics, man.
Yeah, I know, man. I know it's terrible, bro. Like that R word is disgusting, and I think
it is absolutely.
Yeah, that wasn't the. I'm glad that didn't end his career. That's if everything is right, if everything is true, right, and that those things didn't happen. But yeah, it's definitely that is something that was. I think it goes into him being influential in the NBA, right? Because I don't know if that's the first time we saw a big name get accused of something that terrible. But
yeah, agreed. So the last thing I'll say, before we move on, and I promise it's the last thing. I actually searched this while this whole thing was going on. Mamba mentality. I looked this up, right? And my question was, how has the Mamba mentality been studied? And the answer was, Mamba mentality has been studied and applied in various fields beyond basketball, including sports psychology, business, and personal development. Blah, blah, blah. I'm not going to read the whole thing, but some of those things are sports psychology, academic success, business and leadership, personal development. And it ends by saying the widespread application of Kobe Bryant's mindset highlights its universal appeal and effectiveness in motivating people to reach their full potential. If that does not speak to the man's influence, I don't know what does. I really don't. Because there's no such thing, again, not taking a shot at Allen Iverson, there's no such thing as that for Allen Iverson. And being more influential in the hood it just doesn't. Like, if that's more important to some people because it reaches them more personally, cool. That's no problem. But I'm just saying, universal appeal says to me more influential. But we
I
gotta
think
leave it.
a better topic would have been influential in hip hop.
Okay, but like I don't even.
Yeah. Nobody cares. Yeah, I know.
No. I'm not saying nobody cares. I'm just trying to, like, why influential in hip hop. I really don't.
Because at that time, hip hop was the soundtrack for the NBA.
Okay.
Yeah.
Fair enough. Nobody's overlooking the hood, Bruce. Nobody's overlooking the hood. All right, but anyway, let's do this. Here we go. I appreciate everybody who called in on that. That was a great topic.